Hi everyone, my name is Gary and I'm excited to highlight what developers are building in Microsoft Teams. We have Robert with us today who has brought us a really exciting app called Live Patient Review. So let's jump in. Could you tell us a bit about the inspiration behind this app and how it came to life?
Yeah, the inspiration around it started last May when I was at the Microsoft MVP Summit. And I saw some really new things around the LiveShare SDK. And later on, Build they went GA with it, and yeah, that really inspired us to start playing around with it. And yeah, we thought we should really get a real time or real life scenario with it.
Very nice. So this is a Teams app. So you've decided, yeah, we're gonna build these solutions in Teams. Yeah. Why go to that lens, right? Why build this in Teams? Why not build it in something else?
Yeah, good question. People are already using it, and in our case, within the healthcare, a lot of people are using Teams. The thing is, you get a lot of extensibility options within Teams, and what we did is have an extensibility within a Teams meeting. So yeah, those are really nice scenarios which you could build within the platform.
Do you mind showing us a little bit about the app and the key features?
Yeah, of course. I already started a meeting with two persons here. And then on top here is our extension, our side panel extension within the meeting. So I can start off this. And as you can see, it connects to the backend. And the backend is provided by Microsoft Teams itself. So we don't have to do anything for that backend. It's provided for us. That's part of the LiveShare SDK we're using. Let me also open the app for the other user. And as you could see, he doesn't see anything yet. But we're using the LiveShare SDK options for presence. There's a presence object available, an API there. And with that, you retrieve all the users within the meeting, but also their roles. So we could do some role-based authentication, or, well, at least mimic. So we could show off some things or not. Or let's start by adding some patients here. So that's one of the things you could do as an organizer. So as you could see in both screens, the screens are updated automatically, and that's one of the key things the LiveShare SDK is providing us. So it's updating the state throughout all the users joining. As you could see, the user is also seeing this, the other user. He can still jump some things around to have another order of the patients. Me as an organizer could say, okay, who's the next patient? And I could also start a share stage, a share to stage part. And on the main screen, we will now see the app again, but in a bigger fashion. So the other user doesn't even need to open the side panel. When I'm starting to share to the stage, I could set up everything beforehand, etc., and then start with the actual scenario. And in this case, the scenario is we got in healthcare those meetings called multidisciplinary meetings, where specialists come together and where they're discussing patients. Okay, what medicine do they need? What changes to their treatment do they need, etc. So those kind of things are discussed, and a lot of times those meetings are physically in a room. They're using an overhead projector or something like that to present, or maybe they have a digital one, but not always, because they would like to share those X-rays. You mean they're not always available directly, etc. So sometimes they're physically, but nowadays they also have them more and more digital. So yeah, what we could do in this app is a few things. One of the things is we could provide feedback. So I could provide some feedback here. Keep it simple. And as you could see, the other user is directly seeing that. But he could also say, okay, I would already provide some feedback for the patient one already. So they could just have that offline. And if I open it up, I could already see it. So if he needs to go somewhere for an emergency or something else, or he's not available already, he could jump into the meeting, getting this overview already. And if you're coming in later, everything is updated for you automatically. And yeah, you could just go on. So that's a really cool scenario. You could adopt it to multiple kind of scenarios within your organization, not only in the healthcare, but also for stand-ups or other things like that.
Yeah, it's a cool way of being able to kind of like have people leave, join, still see, you know, the updates that other people have included in the app. It's not all in the chat either. You're leaving feedback in a web application as well, but it's all there available within the Teams meeting. It's made really accessible just through that app.
Yeah. So I was talking about the X-rays, for instance. And what we could do here is for the current patient, we could just start a sharing, and I could choose a file here. And as you could see on the other screen on the right side, me as a user, because my mouse is now active on this screen, the other user could see it, and I could start inking on it, saying, okay, this part of the X-ray, this is where the problem is. Or maybe I would like to have an arrow here and say, okay, look at this spot. And if I go to this screen, you could see instantly the other user is now being able to do things too and see it. So I could also start a laser pointer and saying, okay, hey, this part, that doesn't look very good. And yeah, that's a really cool and neat way to have that interaction during a meeting on a local or file you're just putting into there, and yeah, having some quick conversations around it, showing off things, etc.
Fantastic. Well, thanks very much, Robert. That was incredibly exciting. Love this application, its use case as well. So if you want to learn more about the live patient review app that Robert's shown us today, then make sure you check out the sample in the Microsoft Adoption Samples Gallery. We have a link in the description. Go check it out, see how it works. And until next time, thank you very much for watching.